for all this shit. It took forever being around the dregs of society.
So we got this one kind of secret DMV in the mall. It's like this real little location in the mall, and if you get there during the week, like you can pretty much get in and out. So I usually do that, and I have pretty good luck.
We have one of those too, but they only handle registration. They don't do licenses for some reason. So you have to get a license, you have to go to the real deal one. Luckily, I started smoking weed again last night, so I wasn't after 4 months of 4 months of 4 months of not smoking weed. I smoked last night. I went to my buddy Eric's house, and I was smoking out of the bong, and I got so like wrecked. Like I haven't been high like that from weed, like stoned, like stupid.
Yeah,
I was like, Jesus Christ, I couldn't drive. I had to wait an hour to go home because I was like, I shouldn't drive.
I know.
So
the best part about stopping, you get one of those days eventually.
Oh yeah. And I smoked earlier today too. It took me forever to finish these notes because I was so fucking stoned while I was writing.
Yeah,
it's the worst idea ever. Like, never.
Here we go. All right, we are back, guys. This is the Midpoint Marvelous Facts before our final book of the night. Going to highlight Cassandra Nova, who was a Grant Morrison creation, assisted by Frank Quietly. First appearance was in New X-Men number 114, July 2001. And then it says last appearance. It doesn't say death, so it says the last time she was seen, I guess, until X-Men Red, was X-Men Legacy 211, July 2008. So those are the time frames you can find Cassandra Nova taking place during.
I don't think I read that issue.
If you're not familiar with her, she possesses telepathy comparable to Charles Xavier. So after copying the DNA of Charles Xavier, I don't know what this word is, the Mumdery, Cassandra Nova, I guess that's what she is. Access the full spectrum of latent mutant functions in the genome. So this means she has the power of Charles Xavier, the ones that he could have had and the ones he might receive as a result of latent mutations. So these powers include telepathy, telekinesis, and the ability to release an astral form, which she focuses both her telepathy and telekinesis. She has all the powers. She has all the powers of the average Mumridae as well. I don't know what the fuck that is. I gotta Google that word right now to figure out what that is, because
so you're saying Mumra for a second.
Yeah, that's what I want to say. It says Mumridae is also known as the anti-self, are entities that each individual must fight before being born. According to Shi'ar myth.
I can't say it either. Mummadry.
Yeah. I don't know how to pronounce it. Hopefully somebody else. No, Jeremy
I remember
Bob helps us out with that.
I remember when I was reading New X-Men, she was talking about how she was like, there are humans, then there are mutants, and then one day there'll be something after mutants, like the next evolution of humans, and supposedly she is that. That's what she is.
Okay, so that makes a little more sense there if we're trying to put it in basic non-sciencey Marvel terms. So it was suggested that Cassandra Nova used her powers to awaken or even create Emma Frost's secondary mutation, which granted her the ability to turn herself into the living diamond form.
Yes.
So, that's pretty cool. That was probably the craziest thing I found out about her, besides her powers, obviously. Which brings us to. Go ahead.
She's also Xavier's twin sister.
Yeah, I was reading about all that, but I didn't get into any of that, like, because it involved, I don't know, her being born first, and it started getting confusing. So I'm like, I don't want to.
It's weird, yeah, because she was like born in the womb with him, but she wasn't actually born. She was like, this is what she was when he was born. His psychic powers manifested. He split off as a twin, but in consciousness only. So when he was born, she gave birth to 2 children, one that was like a fully formed human male, and then the other was a female consciousness, and it was looking for a body like all this time, and then it finally, and it always wanted Charles's body, but it ended up being able to make a body around the time that New X-Men came around. So
yeah, so that's that's better than I could have explained to anybody. So there you go. That brings us to Chameleon, a longtime Spider-Man villain created by Stan Lee and Steve Ditko. They come up here a lot on the Midpoint Facts. His first appearance was all the way back in Amazing Spider-Man #1, back in 1963. So originally, the Chameleon had no superpowers. Later, the Chameleon's powers are made innate. His epidermis and skin pigmentation have been surgically and mutagenically altered by a serum so that he can take the appearance of any person at will. He used to kind of wear like, this special belt that used to help him, I don't know, create the look of other people, basically.
I remember that from the cartoon.
Yeah, that's how he used to do it in the cartoon, definitely. He also wears fabric made of memory material that responds to nerve impulses and can be whatever costume he wishes it to be. So that's how he, gets away looking like Deadpool or Spider-Man, so to speak, in the most recent storyline occurring there. He doesn't have a whole lot of craziness, believe it or not, other than just impersonating other people. What the craziest thing I found out about him is his real name, which is Dmitry Anatoly Nikolayev Smirdakov.
Okay.
So a four-part Russian name. His name was created from the Russian novel The Brothers Karamazov. I can't say Russian names at all. Derived from Dmitry and Smirdakov. Smirdakov derives from Smirdit, meaning to stink, or son of the reeking one in Russian. So that's the craziest fact I could find about Chameleon for you. He's basically named after the Russian word for his last name anyway, to stink or son of the reeking one. So there you have it, folks. The Midpoint Marvelous Facts. Don't tell us there's not some good hardcore information there for you. But that'll bring us to the final book of the night. Trevor's going to take over. You're probably sick of hearing my voice. This is Infinity Countdown, Adam Warlock, #1. So take it away, Trevor.
All right. So, written by Jerry Duggan, Hacksaw Jerry Duggan. Art by Mike Allred, colors by Laura Allred, with letters by VC's Corey Pettit, and a nice cover by Aaron Cooter and Ive Svorcina. Okay, maybe that's right. Svorcina, whatever. The solicit goes, Adam Warlock is back. Reborn from the realm of the dead, Adam has come seeking the Soul Stone and the truth about what it did to him. His guide through this infinity quest is none other than Kang the Conqueror. Be there as Adam begins down the dark trail sure to lead him into the heart of mystery of the Infinity Stones. I love that. Be there.
Yeah. It's like it's such an old school like marketing tool.
It really is. We pick up this issue from where we left off in Guardians of the Galaxy #150. Adam Warlock springs from his cocoon, and he's welcomed by Kang the Conqueror to his citadel, where he keeps all of his fun goods, which we'll get to later. Warlock asks him why he's been taken from his time period, and Kang tells him, he's exactly where he needs to be at this moment in time. Adam demands to be sent back because that wasn't really much of an answer to his proper time, and Kang opens a portal. He opens the portal, and he tells Adam he's got something he has to show him and asks him to walk through. I want to show you your future before you go back in time and get yourself killed. Maybe I'll better prepare yourself not to die because some serious shit's going down. So Kang, being cool about shit, walks through the portal first because he wants Adam to follow him, and Adam's just not going to do it. So
what's sweet about, before you go, the sweet part about this book is they got like a timestamp in the bottom of every. See that? With the hourglass.
Yeah, with the hourglass. Yeah, I
noticed that page number. I thought that was really cool.
in the middle of the book, I noticed that. And I'm like, when I get to the end and it's like empty, and I'm like, oh shit, that's dope. And I flipped back to look through it on every page because it's like, oh shit, that's really cool. They started around 1, 2, page 3. It comes in like right where they go through that portal.
Yep.
When the page where the portal opens, that's when the hourglass starts, which is pretty dope. I mean, there's like a little meaning there for it. So they go through, and Adam is shown his past, and we pretty much get a 4-page abridged telling of his origin and a brief amount of history up until he goes into the soul gem. So, you know, it first comes out, we see him with the people who made him. We see him trying to pick up this chick, and then he gets into a fight with Thor, and Thor just fucking whops him with Mjolnir. Yeah, whips his ass. And this is when they figured something out about Adam. See, after Thor whipped his ass, he turned into he went into his cocoon state, and he flew off into space. And it's like his own body did that for him. So when he dies, he gets killed, or there's so much damage to his body that he just can't go on. He'll automatically make a cocoon, and the cocoon will take off to some place where he can't be hurt until such time that he can regenerate. Kind of like Doctor Who, only he looks the same when he comes out of the cocoon.
Yeah. Little doomsday-ish, but not so immediate.
Yeah. So we get the history up until he goes into the soul gem, and if you've been reading Guardians of the Galaxy, you know a little bit about that because that was explored with Gamora, because that's why she's on the hunt for the soul gem, so she can get that piece of herself that we see in this page. The last page of the recap of them going through time, his past. So you see Gamora, a bunch of people. I think that's Pip the Troll, but you see a bunch of other people.
In that splash page look like she has a tail?
Do
you see that?
Kinda. It's her foot. Yeah, her foot looks like a tail. But that's her in her old costume too. Like you'd catch her in Infinity Watch or whatever. And then Drax with the saxophone, like old school Drax. A piece of him is stuck there too. And that's why Gamora has been looking for it. So, you know, it's a memory that particularly interests Kang, that, you know, Adam left his soulscape then Adam left his soulscape after this, up until that history point. That's why he picked this moment, because he's there, he's peaceful, he's in the soulscape, and then he leaves again, just like he did now. He leaves when Thanos gathers the Infinity Gems. At that time, they were called gems, but now they're called stones. So, so Kang tells Adam that history is repeating itself. You know, obviously, he just left the soulscape. Someone right now is gathering all the Infinity Gems, stones, what have you. Adam says to Kang, what are we waiting for? Let's get the fuck out of here. Let's go fight this threat. Let's get the Guardians of the Galaxy together and wreck shit. But Kang shows Adam the future and says infinity's end approaches. And when we go to that double splash page, double spread splash page, you just see everybody dead. Like everyone every hero you could think of is laying dead on the page. You got Vision's head ripped off. Ant-Man's dead and his arm is shoved through fucking Groot's eye. She-Hulk, Loki, Cap, Doctor Doom in his original costume, Cable, Star-Lord. Anyone you could pretty much think of is on this page. Even people you probably wouldn't think of. Darkhawk is there. Thor. This is something that interests me, right? Jane Thor is there. No hammer. And Mighty Thor is there. Not Mighty Thor Jane, but Mighty Thor Odinson is there. And he's got his old costume on. He's got the head, fucking the helmet on. He's got the fucking his gauntlets, those metal gauntlets that he wears. So it makes me wonder, like, is he going to get that gold hammer that we saw in the Death of Thor between now and whatever this is supposed to look like? Because even Cable has his character design that he has right now. So
yeah.
Tony Iron Man's there too, dead. Quasar, everybody's there, and they're all fucked up, and they're all dead except for Gamora. She's on her knees in the front corner of the panel, and we see the shadow of whoever this bad guy is gathering the stones. Hey, Daredevil's dead body's there too, and the shadow kind of looks like it could be Thanos' head from Thanos' old
That's
helmet.
the head I thought it was.
That's what I think. That's what I thought it was, but I don't think it is Thanos. It's got to be. I think it's somebody else that's this bad guy. It would be so on the money if it was Thanos, but I don't think it is, because everything that's going on in his book right now. I mean, Ghost Rider does have the Time Stone, which is that stone that Warlock has to get for Kang. We'll get to that in a minute. But so yeah, so then we flip the page from there. And Adam he's ready to fight after seeing this, and he asks, but they bounce back to the Citadel, and he asks Kang why they're fleeing. Kang tells Warlock that he's going to reposition to a more advantageous time, and seeing that he's lived through this 113 times. So like Warlock waking up in his Citadel, him showing him all these things, and then them making a plan of attack has already happened 113 times. So this is like the 114th time.
Yeah.
And this time Kang wants to do something a little different. He tells Adam that he's going to send him through time to find the Soul Stone, and in return, Adam has to find the Time Stone and deliver it to Kang. And then they both keep their stones safe, so they can avert disaster. This reminds me of something similar that happened in Hickman's Avengers with Captain America. In Time Runs Out, I think it was in Time Runs Out. I think so. Or the might have been. Anyway, so to avert disaster and save the universe. So he pushes Adam through another time portal and tells Adam to find Kang, but at a different time period when he was going by Rama Tut, and tell Kang all the stuff that Adam saw in the future. So tell Rama Tut, whatever. So while the portal fades, Kang's talking to someone, but we don't know who it is, and I presume it's the big bad guy of this series. And he's saying, I grow weary of this game, so I've changed the past and the rules. Infinity will not give way to entropy after all. You are omnipotent, not omniscient. That will be your undoing. I will be beaten by you. I won't, what do you say? I will not be beaten by you or anyone else. Kang is the one true master of time. You may win today, but I will win the past, the future, and eventually this present. So I think Kang was killed by our bad guy right after this happens. And he tells him, like, you are omnipotent, not omniscient. So whoever it is a super fucking powerful guy. And this is where we get our hints here. So before we catch up with Adam when he gets pushed through that time portal, we get one page with 4 panels. And it's his trophy room in the Citadel. It's Kang's trophy room. We got Magneto's helmet. We got Wolverine's skeleton with the Weapon X helmet. Cyclops' original mask. Zorn's helmet. Xavier's Cerebro helmet. The famous window from the Sanctum Sanctorum. A Sentinel head. The Avengers A from Avengers Tower. He even has what looks like a Celestial head. And then, if you really just look at this page, because he has that Celestial head in the other room, and you can tell that's in the room. But then when you look to the right, out the window of the Citadel into space, you can see a red Celestial and then this blue Celestial up in the top left corner. Those are outside, are they not? Like, those Celestials are outside the Citadel. So is it a Celestial that killed Kang?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I see what you're talking about, but I don't know if that's like a hint of who did it or if it's just like another trophy outside because it's too big to have in. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe like it's a whole body or something, but it's just weird
because those things are huge.
It just looks like this one looks like he's looking in, and then there's a shadow in the background. You can see a shadow on the wall of Kang, like looking like like he's ready to die. You know what I mean? Like,
I wonder if that's Kang as a trophy, almost. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Like frozen in place.
Yeah.
But I'm wondering. Oh, look, I totally forgot. Xavier's wheelchair is right there too, on the bottom left-hand corner. He really likes Xavier. He's got a lot of his shit in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of stuff to think about in that page. I think there are some hints there that we're not getting, because there are a couple of shadows on the wall. There are a couple of things that changed. A couple of things that are zoomed in on. Specifically, that Celestial helmet is like zoomed in on, and then as we start to fade out, and then we see his shadow on the wall, and then when we go to the wide frame, of looking at this room, you could see those celestials outside. I don't know. Maybe they're pissed that he has a celestial head in his trophy room. So we catch up with Adam Warlock as he arrives in ancient Egypt. He makes his way towards the pyramids as they're still being built. He runs into some locals. They draw their weapons because he looks like a fucking freak compared to them. He's dressed in all these bright colors. He's an orange-skinned man with blonde hair, and they're all dressed in like white cloths, like virtually naked. And he's trying to talk to them, explain his situation, like who he is, why he's here, who he needs to talk to, but they don't speak English. So to them, he's speaking in tongues, and he's just this crazy man because his skin is orange, and that's kind of fucking weird. So he kicks their asses. They attack him. He kicks their asses. Ramatut shows up, says, "What's up? I knew you were coming. I got to show you some shit." So Ramatut tells Adam that he has to sneak him into the future in a stealthy way.
Yeah, who's just Kane if you're getting lost in the past.
I skipped a paragraph. So yeah, Ramatut greets Warlock, and they cover a little bit of his mission on their way to God, what the hell is that building called? The Celestium.
Yeah,
where you can look at space. Yeah, and Ramatut is like, Kang has different versions of himself throughout time. So before he even became Ramatut, he was Iron Lad, and he was a good guy. He was a good kid. He was part of the Young Avengers. He had like his own Iron Man costume, like his own armor, but it was completely futuristic from like the 28th or 9th century. And that ended up turning into Vision at one point. But then after that, he turns into Ramatut. Then he turns into Kang the Conqueror. Then he turns into Kang the Conqueror. Then he turns into Immortus, I think. And then finally, I think it's finally, or maybe there's the Scarlet Centurion, who I don't know if is before Mortis or after Mortis, but he has so many throughout history and the periods of his life. He has different names for himself, but just fucking weird. He's master of time. So they make their way to the Celestium, whatever that is, a building that Kang had made just for Warlock being there, so he could give him direction to where he needs to go to find the Soul Stone. You know, he shows him the star, where the planet he needs to head to is, so he has like some direction on how to get there. But he built that just for that one moment, and then he has to tear it down because it's not a part of history, and he can't fuck that up. You have to be very careful when you're a time traveler. So he also tells Adam, he tells him where he needs to go, and then he tells him who he needs to retrieve the Soul Stone from, which is an evil reflection version of Adam Warlock called Magus, who currently has it. Now, Magus is pretty much like the bad version of Sentry. I forget. Oh, God, I can't believe I'm forgetting what the bad version of Sentry is called.
Yeah,
but
I'm not. My cosmic Marvel is shaky knowledge, so I don't know either.
Sentry, he's not really a cosmic character. He's like Voyager from the New Avengers story. He's like a character that was retconned in.
Yeah, he's like basically Superman of Marvel U, isn't he?
Yeah. Superman like times 10. Hyperion's basically Superman too. Those two. Yeah, and then they made it.
I always actually mix them up. I always think when you mention Sentry, I'm always thinking Hyperion.
Hyperion, yeah. But yeah, it's similar to that because he has like an evil version called something. I can't. It's got its own name, but I just can't remember it right now. Even though it's in like 5 books I've read in the past 3 weeks.
He's got an Ultraman basically.
He's got an Ultraman, yeah. But Warlock's is called Magus, and he's purple with white hair instead of orange with blonde hair. But essentially, other than that, they look exactly the same. Ramatut tells Adam that he has to sneak him into the future in a stealthy way because even the smallest ripple in time will alert their enemy. Their enemy will detect it. So he takes Adam to this room, and Adam assumes that there will be some kind of tech or machine or something that's going to send him into the future, right? But it's really more simple than that. See, Adam and Ramatut get to this large room, and there's this door in this large room, and it's pitch black in there. So Ramatut sneaks up behind him. He tells Adam that, he's got to be patient before he steps through. And as soon as he gets in there, he'll be back in 2018. But what he doesn't tell him is he fucking stabs him in the back and then shoves him in a sarcophagus and tells Adam that he'll have his attendants prepare him slow so that his regeneration process lines up with him waking up in 2018. And Ramata even makes the fucking attendants drink poison because he can't have any evidence of it. He can't have anybody knowing about this room. He can't have the secret getting out or being written on a wall and recorded in some type of way so some like archaeologist finds him before he's supposed to wake up. So they drink poison, they die in the room with him. Kang's the only person, Ramatut, whatever, is the only person that knows Warlock is in there. So he's traveling the long way, dead. So he died, and he's going to regenerate in the sarcophagus until about 2018. And we'll find out more about that in a week and a half's Infinity Countdown Prime. I enjoyed this issue. I had a good time with it. I liked it. I enjoyed it for what it was, which was pretty much a reintroduction to Adam Warlock for new fans, I guess. So like if you're not very familiar with Adam Warlock, you will have a sense of his history, who he is, and what he's all about, just from like four or 5 pages. That's it, and it works. It's perfect. And you get his role in Infinity Countdown. You get his mission, what he has to do, and we're going to explore that in the next one shot. And it had a really eerie ending. Like that ending was kind of fucked up. Like,
yeah, it was. I didn't see that coming at all. That was pretty crazy.
When I turned that page and I saw him get stabbed in the back, I was like, "What the fuck?" I did not know that they were going to make him go through time that way. It reminds me of Ash from Army of Darkness 3, where he wanted to get back to like 1990, whatever. And the only way he could is if he slept through time for like a couple thousand, like 1,000 years. The art by Michael Allred was fantastic. If you're a fan of him, and I am, you'll love this. His origin scenes were beautifully detailed and clear, really easy to follow. It was pretty much perfect. If you loved his Silver Surfer, you'll love this. It was a buy for me. I really enjoyed it. I don't technically think you absolutely have to read it in order to read Infinity Countdown. I'm sure there'll be like a little bit of a recap in the beginning of Prime or whatever, but I think it's fun. I think it's a really good comic, and if you just want to read this cool one shot that has a continuing story to it, but you don't really have to read it, it's enjoyable. It's got good art and a fun story. It's definitely worth it.
Yeah.
Was this $5?
What'd you say?
Was this $5?
Yeah, it was $4.99.
$4.99. I paid $5 for this.
Yeah, I bought it. Like, I haven't been big on buying I didn't buy any Secret Empire or anything like that. But I'm gonna have to, I think, to collect the whole Infinity. I'll buy 150 for Guardians, and leading into this one, the story's progressing nicely because that's where Warlock started from, and you get a nice background there. And if you read this, like, I don't even know if I would tell you to go back and read the past Adam Warlock stories. Because you just get enough of what he's all about here to move forward and just see what he does next. And even if like you're somebody that's just trying to figure out what he's all about for the movies coming up, like this is a good primer for all that. And it's got the Allreds on the art, so that's always a treat. I haven't seen him do a Marvel book besides Silver Surfer in a while, so that was cool to see. Just a whole bunch of different characters and shit in the way they do them. I'm a fan of their art. So I was pleasantly surprised because I had no idea going in that they were doing interiors. To pick this up and find that out when I paid $5, it helped alleviate my do I want to do it or not? Yeah, I do.
What I told you when I read the solicit, I thought it was going to be Aaron Cooter doing the interiors because that's what the solicit said. Then I opened it up and I saw it was Allred, and I'm like, oh, all right, this is fucking cool. Well, it was like a really nice
I got the variant at my shop, so Allreds are on the cover of mine too. So
all right, so the regular one Kuda does the cover for.
Yeah, I got Allred all the way through on mine, so I'm pretty happy about that. But yeah, I would suggest also to buy. I mean, I really like the story. It felt kind of necessary for setting up Adam Warlock, and obviously this Infinity stuff coming, and this is leading up to that. So I'm excited for the next issue. Another one comes out this month, and that seems to just be setting up where all the stones are and who has them to remind everybody. Yeah. But I think like these primer issues, much like the Dark Knight I keep comparing it to Dark Knight's Metal. Like the Dark Knight's Metal primer issues, the Forge and the casting, like they both did a good job of getting me excited for the actual numbered issues in the series. So I'm kind of in on Infinity, like I was in on Metal, and I'm excited for at least the main issues and Darkhawk. Like I said, like I don't know if I'm gonna invest in Daredevil and Captain Marvel, but
no, I don't think those are gonna be that. I mean, I haven't seen the creative teams yet, so I can't say. But
yeah,
I don't know.
And they're not even solicited yet, so we'll see. I don't know. It's an early checklist to get all jazzed about.
In the vein of Dark Knight's Metal, where like the series is really good, but the one shots are kind of like all the same and crappy.
Right.
I think maybe this will follow that trend where the series is really good.
I almost like am weary to like. That's why I'm picking one, like the Darkhawk one. I'll because he's not a character I see a lot anyway. Like that sounds like something I'd enjoy even separately from the event. So maybe there's something else to it, and that'll hold my interest.
He plays a bigger role. Like Darkhawk makes sense because of all the Raptor stuff going on in Guardians of the Galaxy, right? So like that actually sounds like it'll make more sense to the story, and I wouldn't be surprised if maybe Duggan was writing that on the side to like,
yeah, definitely. So we'll see what the teams are paired with those titles when they come out. Thumbs crossed for Duggan because that would be nice. But I don't know. We'll see. But that's going to be it for this week. We're going to give you a 2-week Avengers recap next week to accompany Spider-Man Annual number 42. That's kind of the big Spider book of the week, I guess. I can't wait for that one. There was something teased about in a few issues back in the Spider-Man story of something happening in this annual with Betty Brant, I think.
Yeah. Remember when she was someone was following her or something, and it'll be like, this will be explored in Spider-Man Annual 42. And Corey Smith is doing the art, and he did the Omega issue of Clone Conspiracy, and it just looked so great. And I'm like, I can't wait to see him draw Spider-Man again. It's gonna be a treat.
So we'll see what's happening there. X Book has decided on revisiting Despicable Deadpool, which I was a fan of the first Legacy issue, so I'm gonna have a little catching up to do here. And Hero Book, Old Man Hawkeye, we're gonna give you issue 2 after giving you issue 1 of that series. So we'll see if that continues on the trajectory upward, because I like that one. And then 2-week Avenger recap. This issue basically summed up in one sentence was a backstory of this dude called the Challenger and his relationship with Grandmaster. So that's who he's playing against.
Yeah, the info dump.
Yeah, all the rules behind the game. So it really cleared things up a little bit, and we'll let you know our thoughts on all that stuff next week. But yeah, we're signing out here, and look for, I don't know, I try to get them up Monday night, but this is going to drop on a Tuesday. I'm not saying that's our new schedule permanently, but I'm like in the middle of a move, so that's working well for me right now. So sorry about the little change. It's not ready for you on Tuesday morning, but you get it Tuesday night. So not much different. But that's all that's going on this end, and we will talk to you guys next week. Peace out.
Peace. I'm up on